What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Central, and today we are going to recap game 81 where the Knicks beat the Nets 111 to 107. What a insane, chaotic game this was. This team has some freaking balls. OG Anunoby just dropping his sack, talking his shit to the Brooklyn Nets, and just the balls that this team plays with, backs against the wall. Not a doubt in my mind that they were going to win this game either. Like, are you kidding me? The way that they ended that second quarter, this was a lock of a win. Like, this was not even going to be a discussion. Granted, it did end up being a close game. I'm not going to deny that. I did anticipate the way the Knicks played the third quarter to blow the doors open, even threw a little, I'm not going to lie, threw a little cash on the Knicks to, cover the spread at that point in the game, which was, I think, like -7.5 or something, but it didn't hit. But regardless, this Knicks team, I mean, they showed balls, they showed heart. They didn't have Isaiah Hartenstein, and it was apparent that he was missing because they had a very hard time along the glass at the beginning of the game. Like, there's no way around it. And just in general, their transition game from offense to defense, defense to offense, vice, whatever way you want to put it, it was just simply not good. That first quarter was terrible, but we're going to talk about everything. Before I do, leave a like here on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Knicks fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. But like I said, that first quarter, they got off to a putrid start. Like, there was just no way around the fact that they got off to a bad start. And that's something that I have been worried about with this team. You guys know that is, getting off to slow starts, but especially against a team like the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know how much I should give them the benefit of the doubt because Hartenstein's out there, because they got to at least play better defense, and their offense has to be at least better. But at the same time, you could argue, all right, well, he's not out there to go and get the boards, to give them the second chance points, to, it's making the Nets get a couple second chance points. So you could argue that there, but, getting destroyed 30-14 by the end of the first quarter is just simply not good. And they were just not hitting shots at all. Like, nobody was good out there at all. Dante DiVincenzo's like the only one that got any of his shots ready to fall, but even then, he had a hard time from downtown early. You had Brunson having a difficult time getting points in the first quarter. I mean, he finished that quarter with nothing. Hart really wasn't, like, Hart was the only one making an impact in terms of on the boards and getting some points. Jericho Sims did not really help at all in that department. OG looked okay defensively at times, but again, like, a lot of worries there. And then they went to the bench, and Deuce McBride couldn't play this game either, so that's another reason this was close, because Alec Burks has to come in and check into the damn game, which hopefully he does not have to again for the rest of the season. But that first quarter was just simply not good. But the second quarter, I just knew, like I said, I just knew that this team had it in the driver's seat with the way that they ended that second quarter. Before the half, Josh Hart just going absolutely off. He went freaking berserk. He had 2 big threes there in the second quarter, and he had that big one to end the quarter, riding it in the halftime, dropping 6 points. He looked very good. And then Anunoby, which we'll get to him, though, with the third quarter especially. Jalen Brunson started to find his rhythm when he came back in. But Bojan Bogdanovic, a guy that, like I said, I was very critical of early in the season, he has been such a huge impact off of this bench. I do not like the way he plays defensively and more the lack of, but Bojan Bogdanovic, the way that he's been producing off of the bench lately is really going to be a key factor for this team going down the road here. And unfortunately, he wouldn't, get on the score sheet anymore in terms of points the remainder of the night, but he did a very good job in terms of keeping the Knicks in this game, because they wouldn't have been in the game if he didn't go off in the second quarter. So got to give love to Bojan Bogdanovic, who has been very clutch lately. Even Precious Achiuwa came into the game and had a big 3, which why the hell not? But then we get to the third quarter, and this is where, I texted in the group chat in with my friends. I said, it's time for Jalen Brunson. Oh, it was not just time for Jalen Brunson. OG Anunoby came out on fire, came out with vengeance. He went 6 for 7 from the field in that third quarter, 3 for 3 from downtown, loving the damn corner spot, getting some steals, playing good defensively, forcing. And how about that steal he had that led to him getting the beautiful dunk? OG Anunoby was on a warpath that quarter, and he had 15 points there just by himself in that quarter. He was on fire, and he kept them in. And that's on a slash too with Jalen Brunson, who was moving the ball well, got 11 points as well. Went 4 for 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from downtown. Jalen Brunson, a great quarter from him. And you're hearing everybody say it, whether it's the broadcast, the fans chanting MVP. It's just so special watching this night in and night out. And even when he has an underwhelming first half and you think that it's going to be an off night, he comes out in the second half and hangs his nuts and shows you why we are chanting MVP, even though he's not going to win it, and shows you why we freaking love him and embrace him. Jalen Brunson, just beautiful. And then how about Mitchell Robinson too, stepping up a bit in the third quarter, but even more so in the fourth quarter, because the Brooklyn Nets are a bunch of freaking cowards, kept sending him to the damn free throw line. He went 5 for 8, which, listen, it's not great, but you gotta respect the fact that Mitchell Robinson obviously did not want to be at the free throw line, and he ended up making a good amount of free throws. Like, he was over 50%. That's a positive in my opinion. And this was his best game since returning from injury, whether it's looking at the points, the way that he was along the glass, because the Knicks, the difference in the second half versus the first half, they were getting the second chance points. I would love to see the splits on that if we could. It felt like they were getting a lot more second chance points. In general, their transition game looked a hell of a lot better in the second half of this game. And just in general in the paint, they looked so much better in the second half. But of course, they did make it a cardiac Knicks affair, because it just has to be that way. Cam Thomas just couldn't stop hitting anything. Walker was hitting every shot earlier in the game. And then you had that play at the end. Who was it? Was it Clowney? I don't remember if it was Clowney or Thomas or whoever it was. Gives Brunson a little shove. And OG Anunoby just talking his damn shit and hanging his nuts on that entire franchise. I loved it. Love seeing it. The crowd's chanting for OG. We're so bought in with this team, and I absolutely love it. It is just, I'm so glad I got to watch this tonight where I'm not preoccupied by the Rangers. It's so nice when they split the games up. Please, in the playoffs, don't give me overlapping games when either team's on the road or one's home on the road. Please don't do that to me, because I want to watch this night in, night out, because I'm so bought in. I think all of us are. This team, there is something to it. There truly is. And you could just see the character and the way that this fan base embraces this team. The Garden is packed every freaking night. It is electric every freaking night for this team. MVP chance on the road for Jalen Brunson. We're bought in. We are bought into this group, and I'm here for it. And it sucks that Randall's not a part of this journey, because I'd be talking so much trash right now, saying that this team's got a ticket to the finals. And I'm not saying that as hyperbole. I truly believe that right now. Obviously, without him, it does make it a little more questionable. But Dante DiVincenzo, I'm not going to discount the fact that he could start going off again, because he's been a little off with his shooting lately. Let's not get it twisted here. He's been off. Like, he went 5 for 12 from the field, 2 for 8 from downtown. He is way better than this. Imagine he gets going. Brunson had a 30 piece instead of a 40 piece. We know he's more accustomed to 40 pieces night in and night out. Hart is finding his game, and I'm freaking loving what Josh Hart's bringing. I think OG's way more capable of being an impact offensively like he was in that third quarter. It's just a matter of finding it more consistently throughout the game, which I'm hoping he could, but his defensive effort's so good throughout the entirety of these games that it's hard to even, complain about what he's doing offensively, because he's clearly making a difference defensively for this team. And then they're going to have Deuce coming back. Boyan's finding his rhythm at the right time. Mitchell Robinson's getting better every game. And now the Knicks secure home court, which is the thing that I forgot to even mention out of all this. It's beautiful, because now that means extra games of the Garden erupting for this team. And they still have a shot of the 2 seed, which, imagine they get to the 2 seed, because then all of a sudden you're talking maybe 2 rounds this team has the garden behind them to support them and be obnoxious and make it hell for the opposing teams, which Milwaukee did lose. Maybe they find a way to get that 2 seed, and I would love that if they did. And I know people want to just play in the 3 seed because you get home court round 1 to play Indiana. To me, I'm all for, and this is what I've been saying with the New York Rangers too, if you follow hockey. If not, people have the argument with the Rangers fan base of should they fall in the standings to play a lesser team, or it's not so much now, but people were having that argument before when the Flyers were involved of should they fall to play a team like the Philadelphia Flyers versus win the division where they might play, Tampa Bay or a team like that. To me, it's always get the most wins possible and go in there and try and get home court in this scenario, that is, of course, for as much as you can. Like, who knows? Maybe Boston does get upset by whether it's Miami or Philadelphia or whoever it may be. Maybe Boston gets upset, or maybe in the second round they get upset. All of a sudden, you got home court in the ECF too. I like the idea of that. And to me, I know that playing the Sixers doesn't sound appealing because of the fact that Joel Embiid is back and they're on fire now. But who knows? Maybe even Indiana falls, and maybe it ends up, and maybe Philadelphia ends up sliding up. And either way, you're going to have a dance with the Pacers, or either way, you're going to have a dance with the Heat. It's hard to dodge teams. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I am all for this team going out there, beating Chicago on Sunday, and giving us something to be excited about with home court potentially. But of course, Milwaukee would still have to lose another game, which that does make me curious what team they got coming up on the schedule. If I could find them here. I don't know why I struggled there. They play Orlando, so you can't rule out the possibility here of potentially Milwaukee losing, and then the Knicks should be able to beat Chicago unless they're resting starters, and maybe they're content with the 3 seed, but which they still, I think, could fall to 4 actually, because Cleveland, I believe, won the night. Yeah, Cleveland ended up winning over Indiana, so they still could technically fall the 4 seed, maybe match up against Orlando, which I'm not disputing that it would be the easier path to the second round to face one of those teams, whether it's a rematch with Cleveland or playing Indiana or Orlando. But I don't know. Like, I'm a sucker for home court. That's just me. And I got confidence in this team right now. Like I said, I definitely am worried about Philadelphia. Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm not, but I still think Philadelphia at this rate is going to, I think they're going to climb up and finish 6 at this rate. I really do. But that's just me, at least. Do they have another game left, or am I crazy? Because I think that, yeah, they have Brooklyn. So I think that they end up winning, and then Indiana would have to lose because of, I think, the tiebreaker, which they do play Atlanta, so it could be the case. I don't know. We'll have to see on that, but I'm feeling so good about this team. They are getting hot at the right time, and that's the most important thing. And we're seeing Jalen Brunson do this now. We know. We just know. Playoff Brunson is about to be a different animal. We know it. And I'm excited to see OG in these matchups. I'm excited to see Isaiah Hartenstein come back into the lineup and make an impact. I'm excited to see Dante get back in a rhythm. I am feeling at an all-time high right now with this team. And maybe I'm getting overly confident, overly cocky, but to me, there's justifiable reasons. There is justifiable reasons to be bought into this group, because it's not just that they're coming behind all the time and winning games. We saw it against Boston where they destroyed them early in the game. So I'm all in on this team right now. Am I claiming that they have a trip to the finals and are even going to win it all? Not claiming that. But I truly believe that this team is going to be dangerous and be a threat for whoever they face. And whoever they face, if they do end up losing, it's not going to be a 4 or 5 game series. Not going to be a 4 or 5 game series. This team's going to take anybody to 6 or 7. That I believe. I truly believe that deep down. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Am I too confident? Am I too crazy? Am I too arrogant? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.